With Targon-Ree's operations severely disrupted, Dex retreated to the shadows of space aboard his advanced ship, analyzing the wealth of data he had extracted from the raid. Each piece of information was a thread in the complex web of the intruder's network, and Dex was ready to pull on those threads until the entire structure unraveled. As the ship drifted silently through the dark expanse, Sentinel processed the data at incredible speeds. Analysis complete. I have identified several key nodes within the intruder's supply chain, the AI reported, its voice a steady stream in Dex's helmet. The digital map in the cockpit lit up, each node pulsating with light, interconnected by lines that represented communication and supply routes. Dex leaned forward, his eyes scanning the network. Highlight the most vulnerable nodes, he commanded. The display adjusted, and several points glowed brighter, marking them as potential targets for disruption. These were distribution centers, smuggling routes, and hidden bases, each critical to the intruder's operations, but not fortified enough to withstand a direct assault. With a strategic plan forming, Dex initiated contact with his network of informants, a ragtag group of traitors, mercenaries, and hackers who owed him favors or feared his wrath. Through encrypted channels, he gathered additional intel on the movements of the intruder's lieutenants and their security protocols. One particular informant, a hacker known only as Echo, provided a crucial piece of intel, a decrypted message that revealed a major upcoming arms deal intended to replenish the intruder's depleted resources. "This is our next target," Dex murmured, the pieces of the puzzle falling into place. Armed with this information, Dex plotted his next moves. He adjusted his ship's course toward a remote asteroid belt, where the arms deal was set to take place. As he journeyed through hyperspace, Dex used the time to refine his approach, integrating more of the Nexus's weapons systems into his ship. The energy cannons were recalibrated for maximum disruption, and the stealth field was enhanced to cloak his approach even in close proximity to enemy sensors. Upon arrival, Dex deployed surveillance drones, cloaked and silent, to scout the asteroid field. The drones relayed live feeds of the area, showing the ships gathering for the deal, unaware of the danger lurking nearby. Dex watched, his plan taking shape, ready to strike at the heart of the intruder's network. With every piece of intel, with every strategic position taken, Dex was not just closing in on his enemies, he was also tightening the noose around the intruder's operations. Each move was calculated, each action precise. Dex was no longer just a hunter. He was a commander in a war of shadows, fighting not just for revenge, but for control. The shadows of the Eridani Belt, a notorious haven for mercenaries, outlaws, and those evading the law, became the recruiting ground for Dex. To dismantle the vast network of the intruder, he knew he needed a team, not just skilled individuals, but ones driven by personal stakes against the syndicate, aligning closely with his mission of retribution. Dex's advanced combat ship, invisible against the cosmic backdrop, served as his base as he carefully selected his potential allies. With Sentinel's assistance, he accessed detailed profiles and histories, each candidate assessed for their skills, motivations, and potential for loyalty. He focused on those who had personal vendettas against the syndicate, those who, like him, had nothing left to lose. Zara, a sharpshooter whose family was destroyed by the syndicate's cruelty. Kale, an explosives expert whose home was obliterated in one of the syndicate's resource wars. And Vox, a cunning ex-pirate betrayed by the syndicate, hungry for revenge. Each was contacted covertly and invited to a secret rendezvous point deep within the belt. As they arrived, tension and suspicion hung thick in the air, but Dex greeted each with a nod of respect and an outline of his plan. "You each have a score to settle," Dex began, his voice steady and commanding within the ship's strategy room. "I offer you not just the chance for revenge, but a share in shaping the new order that will follow. We do this together." As the recruits listened, their initial reserve gave way to a cautious optimism. They were introduced to the Nexus's advanced weaponry and tactics, integrating each member's expertise into a unified strategy. Training sessions aboard the ship were intense and rigorous, designed not just to prepare them for battle, but to forge them into a cohesive unit under Dex's leadership. The camaraderie built during these sessions was palpable. As they trained, shared stories, and planned their strikes, a bond formed, a bond forged from shared pain and a common purpose. Dex saw it in their eyes, the resolve and the readiness to strike hard and without mercy. Their first mission together targeted a syndicate communication hub on a remote asteroid. It was a critical node for the syndicate's operations, and its destruction would cripple their logistics. The team executed the plan flawlessly, with precision and deadly efficiency, proving their capabilities not just to Dex, but to themselves. After the mission, as they regrouped aboard Dex's ship, there was a newfound respect in their interactions. "We're just getting started," Dex assured them, looking at the faces of his new team. "You've shown what you can do. Now we take this fight to the heart of their empire. Are you with me?" The response was unanimous, a fierce, determined affirmation from each member. They were ready to follow Dex into the depths of space, to challenge the might of the Syndicate, and to claim justice for their grievances, one target at a time. With his allies from the shadows now by his side, Dex felt a rare surge of hope. Together, they were not just survivors or avengers. They were catalysts for change, a dark tide rising against the Syndicate's reign. With his team solidified and their resolve steeled, Dex led the charge on a daring raid against a major Syndicate base located on the desolate moon of Xanthus. The moon, a strategic outpost for the Syndicate, served as a storage site for arms and a relay station for illicit communications across the sector. As they approached Xanthus, the cold darkness of space was a stark backdrop against their heated anticipation. Dex piloted the ship, now fully synchronized with his combat suit, making the vessel an extension of his own capabilities. The stealth technology he'd integrated made them nearly invisible to sensors, allowing them to slip past the moon's orbital defenses undetected. "Positions," Dex commanded softly, his voice calm but carrying the weight of their mission. Zara took her place at a custom sniper station Dex had installed in the ship, her eyes scanning for target opportunities through the advanced scope linked directly to the ship's sensors. Hale prepped his explosives, a mix of high-impact bombs and subtle incendiaries, while Vox monitored communications, ready to jam Syndicate signals at a moment's notice. The base loomed ahead, a sprawling complex of towers and bunkers carved into the moon's rocky surface. It was heavily guarded, but Dex's plan capitalized on a recently discovered underground tunnel that led directly beneath the main armory. In the silence that hung before the storm, Dex gave the signal, and they moved. Zara's first shot was the whisper of death, eliminating the outer sentry without a sound. As the team descended into the moon's shadowy crevices, Kale set up his explosives, primed for their timed symphony of destruction. Inside the tunnel, the darkness was near total, but Dex's helmet illuminated their path with a soft infrared glow. They reached the underside of the armory unchallenged, thanks to Vox's expert signal jamming. Here, Hale planted the larger charges, designed to obliterate the Syndicate's armaments and cripple their operational capacity in the sector. With all preparations in place, they retreated to the safety of a nearby ridge. As they watched from their vantage point, Kale triggered the explosion. The ground shuddered violently, a loud roar echoing as flames and debris shot into the sky, painting a stark contrast against the dark void above. The destruction was a beautiful sight, but there was no time to linger. Dex's team quickly moved to the next phase, raiding the now chaotic base for intel and capturing key operatives. Each team member knew their role, moving with precision and efficiency honed by their shared battles. As the raid concluded, they extracted with more than just valuable data and prisoners. They left with a significant blow to the Syndicate's pride and operational strength. Back aboard their ship, as they set course away from the burning debris of Xanthus, there was a palpable sense of victory mixed with the grim knowledge of the long road ahead. "This is just the beginning," Dex reassured his team as they debriefed. "Today we struck a blow, but the war is far from over. We keep moving, keep striking, until the Syndicate is nothing but a memory." With each successful mission, Dex's team grew closer, their resolve hardened by the battles they faced together. They were no longer just allies, they were a force to be reckoned with, shadows forged in fire, ready to reshape the galaxy. In the aftermath of their successful raid on the Xanthese moon base, Dex and his team used the journey back to the Nexus to sift through the intel they had gathered. Among the digital files and encrypted communications, Dex stumbled upon something unexpected. A series of old Nexus logs that had somehow ended up in the Syndicate's archives. The logs were from the time just before his own family had mysteriously disappeared, part of his past shrouded in unanswered questions. Sitting in the dim light of his ship's data analysis room, Dex delved into the logs. The words on the screen blurred as memories, long suppressed, surfaced. The logs detailed secretive operations and experiments connected to the Nexus, operations that Dex now realized his parents had been part of. His heart pounded with a mixture of anger and sorrow as he read about the dangers they faced, dangers that ultimately led to their vanishing. Sentinel, enhance the dates on these entries, Dex commanded, his voice thick with emotion. The AI obeyed, and as the timeline became clearer, Dex connected the dots between his parents' work on the Nexus and the Syndicate's current experiments with similar technologies. It was no coincidence. There was a legacy here, one stained with betrayal and loss. Seeking clarity and perhaps closure, Dex convened a meeting with his team. He shared the revelations not just to enlighten them about the personal stakes, but to strengthen their resolve by showing the depth of the Syndicate's treachery. "We're not just fighting a war against a criminal empire," Dex explained, his gaze sweeping across the faces of his team members. "We're unraveling a conspiracy that took my family from me. What we're doing here, it's about justice, not just for us, but for all those who suffered because of the Syndicate's greed." The revelation galvanized the team. Their mission had gained a new dimension. This was no longer just about dismantling a powerful foe. It was about righting historical wrongs and exposing deep-seated corruption. With renewed determination, Dex and his team returned to the Nexus. There, Dex spent long hours in the command center, piecing together his next moves. He began to see his battle against the Syndicate not just as a path to personal vengeance, but as a crusade to prevent others from enduring the pain his family had suffered. As the shadows of the past merged with the reality of their current struggles, Dex felt a profound connection to his parents' unfinished work. He decided to use the Nexus not only as a base of operations, but as a beacon of hope, a means to distribute the knowledge and technologies that could empower other sectors against similar threats. "This fight, it's bigger than any of us," Dex murmured to himself as he gazed out at the stars from the command deck, "and it's far from over." With the echoes of the past guiding him, Dex was ready to forge a new future, not just for himself, but for the countless others shadowed by the Syndicate's reach. He knew the road ahead would be fraught with more challenges, but now, more than ever, he was ready to face them head-on. The dark expanse of space near the Syndicate's fortified stronghold was about to witness an epic confrontation. Dex, aboard his heavily modified ship, now a deadly extension of the Nexus's most lethal technologies, prepared for a battle that could potentially shift the power balance in the galaxy. As the Syndicate's fleet loomed ahead, an array of warships guarding their most critical asset, Dex's ship emerged from stealth mode like a phantom declaring its presence. With Sentinel's AI at the helm, integrated seamlessly with the ship's systems, they began their assault with precision and cold fury. Dex initiated the battle with a full barrage of the ship's pulse cannons, calibrated for maximum disruption. The first volleys of fire lit up the void, beams of concentrated energy that sliced through the nearest destroyer's shields, breaching its armor and igniting its internal magazines. The resulting explosion set off a chain reaction, damaging nearby vessels and sowing chaos within the enemy ranks. Utilizing the disarray, Dex commanded a tactical advance, weaving through the debris and incoming fire. His ship's agility was unmatched, a ghost darting through the shadows of space. Zara, taking position at the specialized artillery console, targeted the capital ships. Her shots were precise, exploiting the weaknesses Sentinel had identified in the enemy's armor, disabling ship after ship. Amidst the chaos, Dex deployed a squadron of drones, each equipped with the Nexus's latest experimental weaponry. These drones darted toward the Syndicate ships, attaching to their hulls and unleashing electromagnetic pulses that disabled electronics without destroying the ships. This tactic not only caused confusion, but also preserved the ships for potential capture and intelligence gathering. As the battle progressed, Dex unleashed the ship's most formidable weapon, a gravitational disruptor that warped space around its target. Targeting the Syndicate's flagship, he activated the disruptor. Space bent visibly, the fabric of reality distorting around the flagship, crushing it under its own weight as if the universe itself had turned against it. The flagship's destruction sent shockwaves through the Syndicate fleet, both literal and metaphorical. With their command ship gone, disorder spread rapidly. Dex capitalized on this, directing his ship through the heart of the enemy fleet, his weapon systems firing continuously, each hit depleting the Syndicate's ability to fight back. By the time the last of the enemy ships either surrendered or were disabled, Dex's ship stood dominant, a lone enforcer amidst the wreckage of what was once a formidable fleet. His control of the battlefield was absolute, the victory clear but costly in terms of the energy and resources spent. As the debris settled and the last echoes of battle faded into the silence of space, Dex surveyed the scene. His ship, though scarred and slightly damaged, had proven its capabilities. He knew this victory was crucial, a message not just to the Syndicate, but to any who would challenge him in the future. With the stronghold's defenses significantly weakened, Dex prepared for the next phase, striking directly at the heart of the Syndicate's operations on the Stronghold planet. This battle was a testament to his resolve and a clear demonstration of his growing command over both the Nexus's technologies and the tactics of warfare. The galaxy would soon learn what it meant to stand against Dex,